Hello, I hope y'all can hear me okay. Look, this is Come On In. We are doing lunch and launch on the go, guys. Come on in, come on in. Hey, lunch and launch, come on in. Hey, Phyllis, hey, guys. Thank you for joining me today. Look, sometimes, guys, when you're committed to something, it might be on the go. So I am literally in Hampton for the Allen Iverson VIP luncheon. But I had to get in the car and kind of maneuver a little different. But guys, hang in here because I still have a word for the community. So today, I just want to talk to you guys quickly about abundance versus lack, because I think everybody is starting to get this, that in order to launch deeper, there are some things that we have to do. We have to come into agreement with what God has said about us. We have to have a pain plan. And guys, I just want to talk to you all briefly about abundance versus lack. So, if you guys, I don't have my Bible with me, but it is in Genesis 3. And I just want to talk to you about this really quick. So in Genesis 3, second verse, and then part of this is in the 6th verse. This is the very familiar story, guys, when Eve was tempted by the serpent. And God had told her, Eve, you can have everything that you want in this garden, but one tree. And that is the tree of life that was in the middle of the garden. And the serpent was able to convince Eve that she needed that one thing that she didn't have. And guys, I want you to kind of visualize this for me. This garden was massive. It was extensive. There were trees all over, fruit, vegetables, every kind of vegetation imaginable was there. And God said, you can eat from any of that, any of it. You had trees to the left, trees to the right, blessings to the left, blessings to the right. I've been talking about Amos 9, that everywhere you look will be blessings. But what did Eve desire? She desired the one thing that she didn't have. Now, she had to go through all of that vegetation, all of that fruit. She had to go through all of those trees to get to the one thing that she didn't have. And guys, that's when lack entered the earth. And like Eve, like most of us, God has put abundance in our hands. God has put friends, he's put blessings right in front of us. He's given us everything that we need, but we often forget about what's in our hand, and we want the very thing that we don't have. As I'm coaching people and as I talk to different people, the one thing I always hear is what I don't have. Very rarely do people tell me, I have this, I have that. Oh yeah, I've got this. I've got the gift of gab. Oh yeah, I pray for people. I am a good communicator. Most of the times, people say what they don't have. I don't have the support. I don't have the time. I don't have the resources. And let me tell you guys, God is calling us back for us to look at what he's placed in our hands. Because as long as the enemy can get you focused on what you don't have, as long as he can get you focused on, I don't have the support, I don't have the money, then you're never going to walk out your purpose and your calling, because you'll be so focused on what you don't have. And I don't know about you, but I don't want what happened to Eve to happen to me, where desiring the one thing and going after the one thing that I didn't have to cause me to lose the favor, the anointing, the grace that God had made available to her. So guys, I want to quickly give you guys 3 things to help you focus on what you do have. And let me say this, like I just mentioned, I was at this luncheon for Allen Iverson, basketball player, has done tremendous things on the court and in the community. But you know what? He wasn't the tallest guy. He wasn't the 6'7", 6'8". They say he was really about 5'11", maybe 6 foot tall, 6 feet tall. But Allen Iverson did not focus on his height, because if he had focused on, I'm not tall enough, I'm not like the rest of the guys, I don't have it, where would he be? He would probably not be the Allen Iverson that we know. If he had focused on his situation, his surroundings, all of the things that the enemy want us to focus on, we miss the blessing that's right in front of us. God is telling us, guys, use what he's placed in our hands. Stop waiting for something else. Stop waiting for the right time. Use the time that God has given you. And that's one thing that I want to share with you is understand what he's given you and use it. Stop coveting what we don't have. Guys, I come from a big family and we have a family reunion. Not all the time can my brothers and sisters make it. And you know what I found myself one year doing? Like I said, I have a big family, but the 1 or 2 people that couldn't make it, I found myself focusing on them. Until God had to remind me, look at all the family that you do have. Stop focusing on the ones that can't make it for whatever reason they can't. Guys, there is a community of people supporting you. You can come on here every week and get a word of encouragement. Stop worrying about someone that is not encouraging you and focus on the people that are. So that's one thing. And again, I don't even have my notes in front of me, so I'm trying to go off the dome, guys, so bear with me. But I really want us to just focus on the things that we do have. One of the things we talk about is time a lot. Guys, we all have, and you've heard me say it, 168 hours in a week. 168 hours. So when you say to yourself, I don't have the time, you have the same amount of time that Jeff Bezos, Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, you got the same time that all the people that do all the things have. You and me, we have the same amount of time. So guys, I want to encourage you, stop saying you don't have the time. Look at the time you do have. And sometimes the biggest thing with time is look at, how am I spending my time? Am I spending my time talking to people? Am I spending my time on social media? Am I spending my times? You know, there are some people, they can't say no to anybody. They're going to volunteer, and volunteering is great. But sometimes we have to look at the fact that maybe that's the reason we don't have the time to work on what God has put in our hands, is because we're so busy doing all the things for everybody else. And guys, again, I don't want you to get me wrong on that. It is good to do things for everyone else, but I really want you guys to get to the point where that thing that you're super focused on, that thing that you know God has told you to do, that you work on that sometimes. You ask yourself at the end of the week, did I give other people more time than I gave myself? Did I work on something in my spare time that I have? Was I doing something where I could have focused on what God has given me? Guys, let me tell you, that is key. The other thing that I hear a lot is I don't have the resources. But let me tell you, there's so many resources other than money There are resources in people. There are resources in knowledge. You are connected to people that are resources. So the next time you say, I don't have the money I want to start my nonprofit. I want to start this business, but I don't have the money to do it. I don't have the resources to do it. Guys, God has placed people around you that are resources that can help you, give you ideas. So don't discount the community that is around you, that's right there. Just like I say with Eve, don't discount all the trees that are all around you. And the crazy thing is that she had to pass by all that stuff to get to the one thing that she didn't have. How many people are you passing by? How many people do you discount because it doesn't look like what you think it should look like? Guys, put some fire in this chat if you've been guilty of that, because I know I have. Put some fire and say, yeah, sometimes I have to admit, I've discounted people. I've passed over things. I've said I don't have the time. When you know what? I spent some time. I spent an hour just scrolling through social media. I spent an hour watching this TV show. When those can be times that we work on the things that God has placed in your hands. And guys, at the end of the day, I just want you today, look at your hands and say, God, I thank you for the stuff that I don't even think is big stuff, because we're so busy looking for the big stuff, the big person, the big connection. God is saying, I have something right here, right in your hands, right before you. So guys, look, hey, that was a quick lunch and launch, but I just wanted to be committed to this thing. I'm going to run back in here, guys, but I just want you to know that we are doing some great things with launching deeper. I have this small mastermind class right now, and I'm telling you, the biggest thing that I am realizing about this group is the power of community. Do you know how many people have made connections, have made partnerships that are able to move further? They didn't think by maybe joining this group that they were going to be able to connect with so many meaningful people. But guys, I just want to encourage you. Look at what's in your hands. Don't covet what's not. God has given you specific gifts and talents to use to help build the kingdom. Well, guys, I love you. Thank you for joining in. And look, next week, same time, I will be on. I am committed to this thing and helping you launch deeper. Love you guys. Bye.